Nico,
Nico, Nico, ni.
Nico, Nico,
Nico?
Nico, Nico,
Be-
Nico, Nico.
because I Nico, Nico need you. Um, so one last thing about uh, 2202 is, and I mentioned it before with the sort of difference between the galactic hero characters in these. Um, Even with like the relationship between like the head pilot and the nurse girl was kind of out of left field at the end of 2199. Um, when they were getting, I think in 2202, they're based on the moon because their baby has radiation sickness. Even though
Yeah,
I, even even though it's kind of out of left field and not a lot was built up about that relationship, like, oh, that's a bummer. Why can't they be
and
happy?
you don't know they're not happy.
It's true. Well, happy with a child that doesn't have radiation poisoning. That's what I mean.
Sure.
And also, if Kodai's dead brother brought his girlfriend back to life, I'm glad to see that everything worked out because it'd be kind of a waste if they like broke up afterwards or like found out that they actually did hate each other. So that's good. But I know we were talking about how it's basically space magic earlier, but uh, she was resurrected with her amnesia still intact. I don't know.
Mm.
What are you gonna do?
It's, it's been so long. I don't even remember that. I think,
But
and the new episodes, or at least in Japan, the new episodes are supposed to come out. Like like shit has happened since it's so weird.
okay,
I try to think about like it's the show is like even now the show is in such a different place, but so I find it's just one of those things where it's hard to comment.
it's like watching Pokemon Sun and Moon and then trying to talk to someone about like the first season
original
of Pokemon,
original Pokemon, yeah.
or
Remember
like um,
remember Brock?
remember Brock and the fact that he could. It's like he couldn't see or something. He was like weird squinty eyes.
uh,
Or when people were shipping um, Ash and Misty.
Misty, Forever Alone.
Aw. But on a happier note, um, so there's an anime that came out this season that I basically was like, so this is basically a show that's right up your alley. It's four girls that are cute doing cute things, and it's on episode 6, and you haven't watched it yet. What's wrong with you? Are you feeling okay? Have you been
Is there a new
eating?
season of K-On?
No, it's not, unfortunately. That'd be super great, but no. Um, it is um, Comic Girls. And let me just bring it up. Or Comic Girls, sorry. Nope, nope, Comic Girls with an S, he says. Finally. Here it is. So it follows a.
What do girls need with a comic?
I wish. I
Do,
would totally watch that.
do, 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 do.
Like anime, all girls, last comic standing.
Uh,
And they're all not very good, so they're just doing Jerry Seinfeld impressions.
Right.
What's the deal with cupcakes? But so it follows four girls, and they both have their own style of manga that they do, and sort of the main girl that they follow, Kuroko. Yeah, we'll go with that. She has a cuter nickname, but I can't remember that at the moment. Basically, she does a four comma high school girl manga that nobody likes. So her editor is like, "Hey, you should go to like this boarding house with other manga artists, and maybe their talent will rub up on you and stuff." So she moves in with three other girls, and they all have their own sort of genre.
Is that a thing?
What?
Boarding houses for manga artists?
I think so. I kind of think so. Actually, I believe that because I believe I have heard of that before.
Well, anyway.
But basically, you have the first girl she meets, Koyumi, who does shoujo manga, Tsubasa, who does shonen manga, and Ruki, who loves cute things, but because she draws mature art, she was roped into becoming a porn manga artist.
Drawing cute porn before?
Well, so basically, from how it was explained, is that like her passion is cute things. She tried, like, I guess, doing a manga that was sort of with cute animals. I guess kind of similar to like Hello
But they
Kitty
were
or
like
whatever.
having sex?
But they were all like super mature drawing style. So she just ended up in porn.
Sure.
I think they just kind of wanted girls to represent certain genres, and they thought that a
Is
porn
there a
was
Yao girl?
no.
Hmm.
Although there was a horror girl that showed up recently, so maybe there's like another character that'll show up that's like Yuri or Yaoi or whatever. But it's just sort of like your standard slice of life, and
So did
can
they just
be
hang out and like get into arguments about different styles or whatever?
not really. Uh, they all mostly draw hand drawn, with the exception of uh, the main girl who does everything digitally. And I don't know, it's kind of cute and I like it. And usually every episode at the end, she like presents another sort of storyboard to her editor. And she's like, "Oh, these characters are actually good, but your story is still horrible, so it's rejected." I'm like, "Oh, you'll get there.
Hang in there, kitty.
Just hang in there, kitty. Believe in the dream and you'll get there."
Okay.
Not as
Do they
endearing as
also go
K-On!
to Antarctica?
No. They did do the
Well,
K-On!
the
thing and
point.
do like a beach episode within their first 6 episodes, so that's a thing.
Why would you go to the beach?
People watching, And also, one of the girls just really wanted to go to the beach with the others. So,
Was there a pool episode?
no. There was an amusement park episode, though, where one of the girls really looks up to Tsubasa and they're like, you should go on a date. But she's a girl, though, and I'm a girl. They're like, yeah, but still. And then they sort of arrange, the whole
Dato.
date. Wait, uh, I have these 2 amusement park tickets that I can't use, and these other 2 are sick. And well, this one's sick and or got something to do. I don't know. And this other one, what do you have? She's like, oh, my leg's broken, so I can't go.
Did
And
they get
then
a new first year called Azunan?
no, sadly, it's not that. It's not K-On, but it's close enough.
Fair enough. I don't know anything else to say.
Not really. Just that Steins Gate Zero
Like,
is
does it
great.
say? Oh, okay.
No,
I was
that's
gonna
fine.
say like,
Go.
or like, does it reveal anything about making manga or anything?
Not really.
Okay.
It's kind of just on your
Steins Gate Zero.
yes. It's good. I don't like, and I don't really know what to say other than if you watch Steins Gate, you should watch Steins Gate Zero.
So it's a prequel, but it's also
It's a so what do you call something that starts happening on the second to last episode, but is resolved by the last episode of the original season?
I don't get it.
So, okay. So, how many episodes were there in Steins Gate? 20.
20. It was a two.
Okay, so it would have been
seasons,
24. So, in episode 23 of the original Steins Gate, they basically come up with a plan to stop World War III by, what was it? By basically trying to prevent Makise Kurisu's death, which the first attempt is a failure, and Okabe has like a little breakdown, but gets a message from his future self, which is from his future self, where the Third World War, Time Machine War, Cold War happened, and kind of gives him a pep talk to try again, and he tries again. Steins Gate Zero is the timeline of that other Okabe. So technically, it started and ended within 2 episodes of the original series.
Because they changed it so that thing wouldn't have happened.
Yes.
So it's just how did it get to the point where he had to send that message, I guess.
Yes.
That's interesting. I guess that's kind of neat. I don't know where you go from there, but that's kind of neat.
Yeah, well, because it kind of involves a lot of things. Like you get an idea of like where the idea of the original time machine came from, and that it's technically wasn't a time machine per se. Like there was an actual time machine in it, but the one that they used more frequently was more of like sending messages and then sending your brain back in time essentially by a couple of days. And then in Steins Gate Zero, you kind of see where that idea originally came from.
Hmm.
Like before Kirisu came to Japan and started the original and became part of the original Steins Gate. Um, she was basically in. I don't know, like how familiar are you with the Halo universe?
Halo.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess just the games and not even
Okay.
that well. I guess.
So
Is there
basically, what
is there time travel in Halo?
no, what I'm getting at is
Okay.
it's a concept that is also in Halo. That's also in this. It's where um, you basically copy your mind or your brain exactly, and then turn it into an AI. It's basically what Cortana is in Halo.
Right.
Um,
She's like the or
yeah,
doctor or
she's
whatever.
one of the doctors from the Spartan Project that
Sure.
copied her mind into a
Sure.
AI or whatever. Um, similar concept here. That's how they bring Makise Kurisi back because she's dead.
Hmm.
Spoiler. Um,
Spoiler.
spoiler. And then it's kind of weird because kind of makes me think how things would be presented differently in the original visual novel. Because there's certain things about a character that came up recently that keeps like there's flashbacks of it. Like basically, um, Best Girl Suzuha, who came back from the future, is still in this, and apparently she also came back with a with a companion, but she lost her. So part of the story is them finding her, but you keep getting flashbacks of her like being like a government sleeper agent of or something.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, wait a minute. I I don't really see how that's relevant other than just constantly torturing us because it's not elaborated on. If that's even what's happening, but I don't even know. But I'm like, because I don't think that's how it would have been originally portrayed in the visual novel, like that, thinking that would be uh, like a later on thing. But anyway, that's neither here or there, I guess. But yeah, it's still really good. And if you like Steins Gate, you should watch Steins Gate Zero. But if that's the case, you're probably already doing that. So
Yeah, I
that and they
am.
got everybody back from the original one for the dub. So that's good.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, was it?
Well, not really, but there's still um like for example the um what's her name? Um she goes under the name Jackie Ross, but it's the person who did the voice of Chloe in Life is Strange. And I think they couldn't get her back for like the Steins Gate movie, but she was able to come back for this. And I know that um, the voice actor for Suzuha doesn't live in Texas anymore, but they're able to get her back for both her and her mom. So it's kind of weird when they have scenes together because they're the same actress. But anyway, yeah,
Cool.
yeah, and I was like, I mentioned another one, but I totally forgot it. But it was, oh yeah, Full Metal Panic. Just yeah,
Oh yeah, I guess that was another thing I kind of wanted to check out, but just haven't. Like, how has that been? Like they just go in, right? Like it's just like you
yeah.
remember what happens at the end of season 2, or you don't, and fuck you, I guess. Where
Well, it
We're doing
so
shit.
it kind of doesn't even matter, other than like amalgam, which is like the anti-mithril, basically, like the um, other than introducing them, like most of what this, or at least most of what I remember the second raid being is just Sosuke being emo all the time.
Was
Where
second raid like the one where like there's like the Russian like mercenaries or whatever that they have to fight?
I
Or like
believe
or is-
so.
yeah. And
Like,
Hong Kong was the first one, right?
yeah, no, Hong Kong was the second one.
Hong Kong was the second one. Okay. Yeah, I don't that it's been so long since like
Yeah,
I
I'm just like,
honestly don't remember anything.
and I didn't catch up on anything,
Hmm.
so like I didn't rewatch Full Metal Panic or Second Raid, um, which is totally weird because I can't remember. The only thing from Second Raid that I remember, I don't even remember if that was even in Second Raid. So basically, I can't remember anything from Second Raid that Tessa ever did. She's kind of the commander of Mithril, and the only memories I have of her character are from Famofu.
Right.
So in the second episode, when when they're being attacked and they're trying to get out there in their mechs to counterattack, or at least stall in enough time to get away, one of the random pilots is just like, we could go out there and die, or we could go up to command and just put a bullet through Tessa's head and say, fuck this shit. And all of a sudden she comes in and like points a gun at her, or basically points a gun at him. And she's like, if you try to kill me, I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, dude,
What's happening?
this isn't the Famofu Tessa I remember. Maybe
No.
I missed something in second grade. I don't know. I can't remember.
Well,
But anyway,
Fumofu was
yeah, Famofu was
Fumofu.
just Famofu. So.
Uh,
Famofu is a bad example. I'm aware. But and then I don't know. It's just kind of weird because not a lot of like forward plot happened in second raid. Again, it was mostly Sasuke being emo and being like, I don't know if I want to be a student or a soldier, and because of that, my mech won't work, and I'm just being dumb and stupid. And but
what's
I
the
worked it out.
point? What's the point of the schoolgirl again? Chidori or whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like in the first episode of this thing, she's like, they bring it up. They're like, yeah, she's a whisperer. I'm like, yeah, I know she is, but the only thing she's ever done is I think she like did something like really kind of out of character and using like her whispered abilities at the end of like the original Full Metal Panic. And I'm like, that is so long ago. Like I know, like all things being equal, we would go right from Full Metal Panic to Invisible.
What does whispering do again?
It like make so it that's the thing. I can't. It was from what I remember, it wasn't really explained very well. But it's basically you're really good at like math and science and strategy, and um, you can uh, sort of uh, think better than regular people at certain things. Also, so the original Full Metal Panic, I believe, was a Gonzo production, and towards the end of that, I kind of blame them because they do what they always do and pull a Gonzo, and realize they're on episode 10 and only have 2 or 3 episodes
Oh
left.
my
So
god, bro.
they
I haven't heard that in so long.
so they
Wow, that's a throwback.
yeah, so they basically throw everything they need to um sort of like to fulfill, like the fact that she was a whisper didn't pay off until like the last episode, and they didn't really even reference it a lot until then. It was just like, bad people are after you, Chidori, so I have to protect you. Not a problem. No, like, yeah,
Mm.
get it.
Hmm. Fair enough. Man, it's just, yeah, I don't even know. It's just, it's so weird. Like, I mean, how long has it? It's been over 10 years, right?
Uh, I'm not looking it up. It is. Oh God, no. So this isn't probably when it came out in the like in the US, but it originally aired in summer of 2005.
Wow. God, man. What is life?
If you're a Full Metal Panic fan, life is hell. That's what it is.
It's just, yeah, it's funny. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I guess, is it good, the new season? Like,
It's good so far. They got everybody back, and the student council president is canon
mm,
because he was only in Fumofu, and he shows up in the first episode of this of Invisible Victory. So that in itself, for student council presidents fans like myself, would call that a victory.
okay.
But yeah, and it's great because
Well,
everybody's back, and and although the second episode was a little jarring because it was a lot of like questionable CG, but yeah, what are you gonna do?
I mean, yeah, the trailer sort of had that look to it too, from what I remember. But mm, I guess.
Anyway, I look forward to it.
Is it? I mean, are the books still going?
I don't think so.
So is the anime gonna like finish everything basically? Is that
Um,
the is that the idea?
I don't know. I'm just a
Okay.
wellspring of knowledge today.
You know more than me anyway. Um,
Okay, yeah, it is over. And ended in 2011.
Jesus. How did this get like? I mean, it's I don't know. I'm curious how stuff gets like. I've been following the business for over a decade, and I still don't get how things happen. But they somehow they do. So what the hell? Anything else?
uh, not really.
Okay. Um, I guess so the one weird thing I wanted to mention was that there's a sequel to Karate Kid on YouTube
YouTube
called
Red,
Cobra Kai, and I just discovered it like
right?
1 or 2 weeks ago, and it's like
Right.
I don't is it have you seen it? Like is it good?
Um,
I
I
don't
haven't
know.
seen it, but I've heard a lot about it.
I mean, I'm just reading reactions and people seem to like it, but I watched this like I don't know if this is good or not. I mean, they're particularly like you're making like the jackass villain the main character and like what's Daniel-san the villain or whatever.
Right?
That kind of I don't know. And I read spoilers about the ending. Do you care?
Not really.
So um I guess uh it's like so Cobra Kai comes back and they reform and then there's sort of like another tournament except instead of like the two of them fighting it's like they're two students and one of them is the evil guy's son and
Right?
that Daniel trains the evil guy's son as like his Miyagi or whatever. Oh, and they call the yeah Daniel calls his like team like the Miyagi like dojo. So it's like as like there's your Miyagi reference. And they fight, but Cobra Kai wins this time. And it's like, oh
Oh,
no, yeah. And the last thing that happens is like the old teacher from the like the original movie who told them to sweep the leg. He comes back. He's
right.
like, well done, you've brought back Cobra Kai. Now it begins or whatever. And that's like and it's like season two coming or whatever. Like watch season two. It's like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, sure. But yeah, it's weird. I don't get it, but it's a thing. I mean, I guess speaking of Full Metal Panic and like bringing shit back, I mean, more than 13 years later, how, I
Mhm.
guess this would be 30 years, 40 years. I can't do math. 30 something years, I guess, right?
Right.
For Karate Kids, like what the fuck? But yeah, it's just so weird. But anyway, it's like, and you let Cobra Kai win, which is also weird. Like, and they go so, and like the series starts with them basically replaying the entire end of the first movie, like that whole battle,
Right.
and him getting kicked in the face with the crane kick, and so at the end, seeing that again, but like with their proteges, and then this time Cobra Kai wins. It's like what? And
But
it's like,
what if in the second season they go all Yatterman Knights and that the bad guys
are they
are
good
actually
guys?
the good guys
Well,
and the
I
bad
guess
guys aren't actually you think they're good, but they're actually bad because there's that one bad guy behind the scene controlling everything.
it's interesting because it's like because they basically make um like the villain guy, the villain kid, like sort of basically the protagonist. He's like the down. He sort of he like his life is shitty, and it feels like um part of it is like an old guy trying to recapture his old like glory, and part of it is like him trying to to show Daniel that he's not a total loser, and so it's like he's the sort of like he's the Daniel-san, I guess, of this, and he's like the underdog trying to rise his way back. Except he's also Cobra Kai is also evil, so it's like what the fuck. It's just yeah, it's a very like whereas I guess with Yatterman Knights, it's like they're the villains, except somehow the Yatterman got turned by the government into these evil like things. So it's just very strange. But
Well, no, if we use the and I didn't finish all of it, but if we use the Team Rocket comparison, um, the
Team Rocket.
Yatterman was corrupted by the Giovanni, who was originally the boss of Team Rocket.
Did
Or
it so Team Rocket becomes good?
well, no, I'm
Did
just using that as an analogy. So
I'm just wondering like do they ever become good? Or are they always evil?
I always just assumed they were actually comically evil. Like they
Okay.
nothing that they ever did was really evil. Like I think it might have been, and then they kind of just got beaten so many times they just stopped trying.
Right. But
That and they're basically a carbon copy of the villains from Yonderman anyway. So,
right. That's true.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Um and I guess we mentioned it briefly in the thing. I did so there's a Canadian show called Corner Gas, which ended. Oh well, God, that's another revival, I guess. Oh, phone. I'll let that ring. Bling, ling, 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 ling.
Kill it with fire.
Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring. Ring a ling a ding ding. Ring, ring. Oh, so yeah, Corner Gas, which is also, I guess, a revival because it ended. I don't know. Maybe, has that been 10 years? Probably five, at least 5 years. And it was a Canadian sitcom, which, you know, apparently was very popular, but I don't know anyone who actually knows it outside of Canada. I mean, but apparently it made it out there. But they brought it back as a cartoon, and it is basically the show again, except they can do more since they're not really limited by a quote unquote budget.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I think the one thing I guess that's just notable is like, so I think I've talked about this before in terms of what happens when voice actors die. Like, like, like with Atlas and particularly Igor, basically refusing to acknowledge that, like, um, like, he, Igor is in Persona 5, but it turns out he's not because it's a fake. So
But he
that
is because he comes back at the end with
oh, does he
his
come?
original
Does the original
voice.
come back,
Yes.
but with a new voice?
No, with the same with this.
Oh,
So
did you
was
see
it the so which one was it, the English or the Japanese
the
that
Japanese
oh,
guy?
okay. That I
Yeah.
can't speak to because I haven't played the Japanese or um or watched that far in the adaptation. But
Oh yeah, there's a fucking Adam. I forgot that was a thing too. Jesus
it's not
Christ.
very good
I
because
I
they
mean the Persona 4, both Persona 4 animes weren't very good, so I can't imagine.
out of all three of the art styles in that game, they based it on the most sort of uninteresting one,
Mm.
and they whenever they fight a monster, they try to redo the all in attack,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's not as good.
sure.
And then at the end of every episode, they try to emulate the thing that happens whenever you win a battle, where it like shows your XP, your items, and
Right.
stuff as part of like the next of or credits or whatever. And I'm just like,
They try to replicate the game sort of UI stuff that happens.
yeah,
Yeah. Meh. Eh.
yeah.
Fair enough. But well, like, so I bring that up just because the actress who played one of the characters mom died, I don't know,
Oh,
a few years after Corner Gas ended. So I think I can't, because they did that Corner Gas movie and I can't remember if she was in it or not. But um so yeah, they recast her for, and because it's a cartoon, it doesn't really, it's a cartoon sequel to a live action show, so it doesn't technically, like, it's, it's much easier. So it's just one of those interesting sort of logistical things that happened,
right.
um, because they switched to animated form. Um, Otherwise, there's really not much to talk about. Like, I mean, it's basically more Corner Gas episodes. The I the animation sort of is said. I mean, I'm sure it's not Flash animation, but it looks like Flash animation. And that will, I guess, being a cartoon means that it was easier to just, I guess, have ethnic characters
Uh-huh.
as opposed to finding, like Chinese people living in Saskatchewan who also want to act. You could just you could just draw the Chinese people and then yeah, but it's just funny.
And
Otherwise, yeah.
also, according to the internet, Corner Gas ended in 2009. So you're welcome.
Wow. When was the movie? Because the
uh,
movie was probably like a few years after that, I think. But I think they kickstarted that movie. Come to think of it, yeah, I think they. Let me. That I kind of want to know. Corner Gas movie Kickstarter. Ah, they. Oh yeah, they kickstarted the movie in 2014.
yeah.
So I guess she must have died. You know, but anyway, that's yeah. So it's like the one Canadian thing that has endured, I guess, even more than The Littlest Hobo, because that hasn't been rebooted yet. But yeah, Corner Gas, why not
You know
keep pumping
what? I'm working on it. That's
more
my next
jam?
thing. Gonna gonna reboot the Littlest Hobo. Um, I'm gonna do something different because everyone's like CG and live action's been done, so I go that way. I'm thinking like Isle of Dogs, Littlest Hobo, because that's kind of basically what Isles of Dogs is. Um, and
I guess. Sure, sure, sure. Why not?
and
Sure.
and I'll get um, I'll write it so the littlest hobo, no one can hear him, but he still has an inner dialogue, inner monologue, and I'll see if Ryan Reynolds is doing anything. Um, I think he'd be down for that.
Uh, Do it in his Pikachu voice. Has
Yeah,
have they shown us whatever his Pikachu voice will be?
I
Or
don't think so.
okay. Would you redo the theme song?
No, I mess with perfection, really.
That's fair. Do 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 do
Till
do do do
tomorrow,
do
we just keep moving on. Do 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 do.
do 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 do.
Until tomorrow, we'll just keep moving on. Do do until tomorrow. I'll just keep moving on.
Okay.
Okay.
I think maybe that's that's how we end.
Yeah.
um
So
I
I
can't go ahead.
so I've been Crazy Canuck.
And I've been the littlest hobo. Okay, Firehouse
No,
One.
I it's great. Then I have to be one of the many annoying kids.
Uh,
Oh, I'm just gonna have to find a bunch of. Oh, okay. So this is going to be fading out, so you're going to have to listen very closely, or maybe I don't, because it's such a great idea. So in my Isle of Dogs esque reboot of The Littlest Hobo, all of the stupid kid actors are going to be voiced by a range of successful to washed up Canadian child actors. So
how many are there?
I don't know. There's got to be a couple. What
This
are
guy,
the
this
what are the
so
cast of like Are You Afraid of the Dark doing? Probably not very much. And it's stop motion animated, so they don't necessarily have to be one to one. And what's Ryan Gosling doing? I don't think he's doing much of anything, so he'll be down.
Ryan Gosling. Was was Ryan Reynolds also a child actor in Canada?
Uh,
Hey, look that up.
all I know is that I went to see Deadpool today, and
Right.
that they did a post-credit scene that was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen.
What is it?
It's basically so Cable's in it, and he can time travel.
Right.
And part of the bit is he gets uh, Deadpool gets a hold of his time travel device and goes to the chick from the first Deadpool movie and is like, "Hey, can you fix this?" And she's like, "Sure, I think so. What do you need it for?" "Oh, nothing." And then she fixes it, and he goes back in time to do one thing that's a spoiler, but do two other things. One is he goes back to Wolverine origin and kills himself.
Oh, that the sure.
So you see that Deadpool squaring off with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and they're about to go at it, and then all of a sudden you hear a gunshot, and he just falls over. He's like, "Oh, hi, Wolverine, don't worry," and then he like shoots his other self like 6 times. And then the next bit is just a shot of it's basically Ryan Reynolds at home at his desk saying, "I've made the best choice ever," and he's holding the Green Lantern script.
Ah,
And then he comes and shoots himself in the head, or shoots Ryan Reynolds in the head.
right. Uh, that's fair enough. Have you? I will say, did you see the thing with like the movie those DVDs or whatever, where it's like Deadpool and like I forgot like what it's Deadpool and like these weird these classic movies
No, I
that
haven't seen
that are
that.
on. Uh, you- it would have been funny if they did that, but let's see. DVD movie covers. I don't know. I guess they just go through this. They just did these movie covers and like yeah, Deadpool and Fight Deadpool on the Fight Club cover. Deadpool. The funniest one is like Deadpool and like they did the redid the Logan box cover with Deadpool, and it's like
Right.
a tiny Deadpool hand reaching for Wolverine's hand. It's so stupid. Um, I like the Assassin's Creed one too because it's just because it's like Ubisoft plus you know Fox plus whatever. But yeah, and these are all on like you can buy these. I don't know if you can buy these in Canada, but
Right.
these are like bargain basement DVDs at in Walmart, and you just buy them. They I don't know how much it costs, but they spent the money to put Deadpool on these covers and then put these covers over the real DVDs, and then they're just on shelves. But anyway,
Yeah.
but,
So, uh, wow. What the fuck? YTV Canadian soap. YTV had a soap opera? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, no, sadly he wasn't a child actor, but still. What are those afraid of dark kids doing? Nothing. I think I could get him on board. They probably remember the Littlest Hobo. They want it to happen just as much as I do.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
I
That's
don't even
great.
remember why we're talking about Deadpool. Anyway,
Oh, I
I've
just brought it up because
I've been a little hobo.
no,
I'm still a little hobo.
I'm still one of the child actors,
You can
and
be DeForest Kelly was in it, so you could be DeForest Kelly.
I could be. Damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a veterinarian.
uh, Crazy Canuck.
I know I'm crazy Canuck. There we go. It's 10:30. The brain connections aren't connecting anymore. And we'll see
Until
you
next
next
time.
time. Or until
Bye.
tomorrow.
Until tomorrow. Bye.